All right, hello folks. This is Basil with Team Rec here. We've got Nimi's 2024 World Championship Qualifier deck. He just won his regional flight. He's got himself a nice playmat here, and he's playing Kashtira. He's got a lot more to say about the deck, so we're gonna get him to jump right into explaining the profile.
Yeah, so this is the Kashtira deck that I took to the main event. Started out really hot at the main event. Was undefeated through the first 4 rounds. Unfortunately, kind of burned out near the end. Lost the last 3, but it's all good. We're going next year. Decided to do the regional flight today. Took this deck. I made one change. I had a D barrier in the side, which I just swapped for a dark ruler. So it's pretty much the same deck I played yesterday. Yeah, I took this today. 4-0. I faced Sun Avalon, Exo Sister. What was the next deck? Vanquish Soul. Almost lost my whole tournament there.
Almost just lost your nose.
Yep, and then Mathmech in the final round. So yeah, the matchups felt pretty good. How I built the deck worked out. So it's gonna be pretty standard. 3 Fenrir, 2 Unicorn, 1 Scareclaw Cash, and 2 Rise Heart. I didn't feel the need to play the Tier Limits Cash. I think a slim engine like this was fine. You really just want to play with these 3 and then use this to push for game and recycle resources with Theosis. Another extender. Hand trap lineup. I just went with 3 Ash, 3 Shifter. A lot of people were taking this out or putting it in the side, but I still valued it in the main because I was just thinking this would be a pretty wide format event. So this went pretty hard against kind of graveyard decks like Sun Avalon, like Mathmech, all that stuff I faced in the event today. And it got me some wins early on in the event yesterday. So I just think it's a turn skip. You got to play it.
Those are pretty solid hand traps. I know that Shifter protected you from a lot of other hand traps like Droll. I understand
exactly.
It's a great reason to play it in cash.
Takes Droll out of the equation. And sorry, I also on the 3 Imperm. I never played Imperm in my Kashtira deck. Probably should have. Yeah, this is just another wall of defenses, and helps you go in second. But it's a great main deck card as well. And then spell lineup's very standard. It's just 3 pot, 4 field, 3 Theosis, 3 birth. All cash decks are like the same 22, 23 cards. So the real difference is just, your non-engine. So I was just on 2 talents, 3 book, 2 cyclone. These are really good.
That's the spice, right?
I think so. Like every deck has like a really good continuous spell. Like this is good for hitting like my friend, Branded Regained, even Branded Beast, and then just like field spells in all the other relevant decks. So pretty clutch.
What I'm respecting still is the 3 book in the main. I know some people are off that, and just keeping that. How did that do this tournament?
Oh yeah, very well. Yeah. A lot of decks kind of start with an Xyz or a Link, so that's kind of walls up your defenses, and then you can play around targeting, worst case. And then, yeah, sorry, I had the big bang. Shang and Bang.
Shang and Bang.
And then I made these. I just caught people off guard. Game 1. I don't know. I like it. It's usually dead in your hand late game, but I think it's worth the risk for the blowout that it provides. Extra, this is probably pretty standard, but Rise, 2 Shang, 2 Zeus. I think it's still good to play like 2 outs for these because cash can still rip important cards. Just because Mind Hacker's gone, doesn't mean you don't play 2 outs. This won me a match against Runic.
Oh no.
It was my last sort of source of removal. He was playing Floodgates against me. He waited till I used both of these, and then he realized I didn't have a skill drain out anymore. So I still just dropped this and was able to lance it and then break his board. So that was really clutch to play 2 of those. One big eye. This was super risky. I probably should have put a big eye in this spot, but I didn't see much cash. It was a pretty like diverse day. I like this card. If you can't kill them, you just end on this, and it puts them on like one move. It came up a lot in testing actually. Once in the event, I could have done it. I left them at 100 life, but I realized I banished it off Cross earlier in the duel. Baron, you know, if you open Unicorn and a hand trap, it's still pretty good. Donner, you know, just to clear out awkward board states like Ibli and all that, that's pretty standard. And then sort of my like Arise Heart targets, I just went with like Goliath to just up against Destruction, like Vanquish Soul, Raisin Pops, and Runic Flashing Fire. And then I like these two. Getting that draw in the grind is pretty clutch. Maybe another source of removal like Skull Knight or the Wagon could help, but I liked Garua. And then Entis is really good if they Kurikara or Kaiju you can pop that. Popping the Kurikara is huge because they usually can kill you. If they tribute off 2 or 3, it gets pretty big.
That was a great explanation for your prosperity targets. Did you ever find yourself like really missing the slower ones, like the Fossil Warrior or the Skull Knight, the Fossil Wagon? Sorry.
I don't think so, because like when it did come up, like needing more, like I was already winning the game anyway. Like opening up a Rise Hard and Pot, so I really just was able to maybe attach 1 or 2 before they outed it. But these ones worked the best for me in testing.
Let's check out your side. I know you mentioned you did some work with Lance, dodging skill drains. What else have you got?
I took out Lance out of the main and put it in the side. I valued Cyclone over Lance.
Clearly it came up. So you've got what else here?
Meta call. Yeah, so hand traps. I just played 3 Drool, 2 Bell. I think these are the best hand traps to side into. Runic for higher. This hits Vanquish Soul too. Sometimes it hits Cash when they don't like to play Shifter. Bell's really good against Branded. Yeah, I think these are the second best. And these play under Rise Hard, of course. 2 Thrust, 2 Dark Ruler. This was kind of my going second package, just clearing boards. You usually always have to activate something when you're playing into them. And then going first, I just sort of walled up my defenses with 3 Solemn and 2 Lance. Just protection against Dark Ruler and, you know, Floodgates in those situations, like Skill Drain, like I mentioned. And then I took out anti-spells for these because I thought evenly into my board was more of a threat than shutting down spells. And I thought anti-spell in this deck wasn't a good call. It's shutting off the majority of your engine. Spells are the most cards in your deck. I played 20 spells to my 6 traps and 14 monsters, so I didn't really want to shut my deck off like that and then top deck into spells. So I thought this was a lot better.
That's a fair call.
That's it.
I'm surprised on the no third evenly, but the ratios clearly worked out for you. You won that beautiful purple deck box, this beautiful Arlecchino mat, and
we'll get him next year.
We're going to get him next year with your WNACQ 2024 invite. Do you have any last words for the fans?
Not really. Shout out to the team.
Right on.
Yeah.